How can you stay organized as a social media manager if you are doing this either as a side hustle while you're still in your 9 to 5, or even when you want to do social media management full time, but you want to travel and you want to have the life of freedom that you were always dreaming about? You need to be super organized. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through a quote unquote normal process that I do to stay super organized while I'm also planning our next trip and while we travel. So I want to be before the trip, I want to be super organized. On the trip, I want to be super organized, and also give myself some time blocks and breaks while we travel so that I can get organized in the new place. And I'm taking you behind the scenes for all of that. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to this channel and like this video if you think it was valuable. But before we start with anything else, I need to get organized, and I'm going to take you behind the scenes on how that actually looks like. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys right away so that we can have a look at my actual calendar. And you can either do that in Google Calendar, or you can also have a printable calendar. I usually use a printable calendar as well because it just helps my brain stay more organized. We're going to dive into my first week. This is the week while I'm not traveling yet. So I want to prepare everything for myself and for my clients. And right now I have mapped out the first 3 days from this whole organization part. So the first thing I'm going to do on Monday morning is I'm going to find TikTok and Reels ideas. So I'm gonna give myself 2 hours to research trends, to see what's going on, and I am going to film the things that I can do for myself. And as you can see right after, I am going to send emails to my clients. So you can see I usually do emails right away in the morning. So I answer emails and DMs on the computer. I don't open my phone. At this point, I've never opened my phone apart from when I obviously do the research. So it needs some self-control there. So usually, again, I do the emails first. The reason why I do the emails after here is because I want to research first what kind of trends are currently going on and what could my clients film. So that means when I then write an email to my clients, I'm going to tell them what kind of footage I need from them. And if I can film it for myself, that's great, but usually I need stuff from my clients, so I'm gonna do that. You could also send them any ideas that you have for stories. So I'm gonna do that here. Then I'm gonna answer some emails, give myself some time here for lunch, and then I'm really going to block off all afternoon to write captions. In the past, that would have taken me 1 or 2 days because we had long form captions for all of my clients. But because short form video content has been so massive lately, the caption writing process has been decreased dramatically, let's say like that. Of course, now I have to do video editing, but that means also I don't have to block out a full day or 2 full days anymore. And it depends on how many clients you have. So I'm just gonna block out this here. Then the next day, as you can see, the red ones are my client calls. I don't have that many calls here. So I'm gonna do a bit of a mixed task day, which I usually don't like. I like to have all of the same tasks in one day. But because my calls are all spread out, I'm gonna do emails in the morning, have a call, and then I'm actually gonna do some graphic design first. So I'm gonna go on Canva and I'm gonna create some graphics. And then I'm gonna finish the rest of the captions if I have any, and I also call this a buffer in case I need to do anything else. So I don't want anyone to book in a call there. They can still book on calls here. As you can see, I also always block before and after, usually from calls. I didn't do it here, but here I blocked out some times just so that no one can book in a call. Then the next I'm gonna edit my reels. So I give my clients a very short frame for editing reels and TikToks, but usually what happens, because I already know my clients, they will send me 1 or 2 videos right on the day that I email them, and then it takes them usually a while and I have to remind them again. But I will know that usually my clients are super fast with sending me a few things, so then I can start editing that on Wednesday, and then I can put this all together and start scheduling everything. So I'm going to go on Planoly and schedule everything that I can. I'm going to create the graphics I've already created on Tuesday so I can put all together. And then the last 2 days, so Thursday and Friday, are really to organize my own life. Do I need to pack anything? Do I need to be organized in every other area? Do I need to book flights or hotels or anything? So that's more my private stuff. And I've already done that for this trip, so there's just some block and buffer here. I'm sure anything else comes up, but that's really what you want to do when you travel. So then the next week, I've actually blocked out everything. That's when we fly, so we're gonna fly on Saturday, and I haven't booked anything, like I have blocked out my whole calendar until Thursday. And I won't do anything before that. I will settle in, but I'll take you behind the scenes that now. I am at the airport finishing up some emails, looking out of the plane that I'm going to take. And then the next day we are finally leaving. I have done all my work and now I'm really ready to leave rainy Switzerland. And as I am at the airport, I'm looking to upload some more stories, look that I have everything prepared, and then wave goodbye to Switzerland and leave for a nicer weather in Italy. And the weather was, when we arrived, beautiful. We took a little taxi to go around to look at, do some sightseeing, which I love, to see where we want to stay in the future. And of course I needed to get some ice cream, typical Italian gelato, followed by a pizza before I dive back into my regular routine. I am now settled in my new Airbnb. You might hear noises on the street or anywhere else, so that's totally normal because I'm literally in the middle of the city. And I wanted to share with you a little bit on how I always plan my trips. You already saw how I plan it with the Google Calendar and make sure that my work is done. But also when I travel, what I look out for is one complete week or a couple of days at least in an Airbnb so that I can get settled, that I can do some work, and then I use the rest of the time to research the area, to really figure out where do I want to stay long term. And I think this is so crucial, you guys, because right now I love the Airbnb that we're at, but I don't love the area as much. So now I'm going to use the next few days to really see, like, okay, where can I see myself living for the next few weeks or even months. So I don't really do short term, so I never stay like 1 or 2 nights because I feel that's unsettling and it's really hard to create a routine. So talking about routines, that's the most important thing when you want to travel long term. So a few things that I always do: join Facebook groups, whether that's expat groups or accommodation groups or just generally digital nomad groups from the area you want to stay in. They can usually help you with find cheaper accommodation than you would find on Airbnb, and you can usually ask any question that you might have. Then again, book at least a week to explore the area. So again, the area, you can explore it while you are already here, way easier than desktop research. Another thing is I also always message the Airbnb host or any other apartment that I go to send me a screenshot of the Wi-Fi speed. There's an app called Speed Test. I'm gonna link it so you guys can just test the Wi-Fi that you currently have, see whether it's good for you guys, and then ask the Airbnb host if it's good Wi-Fi. Depending on how long you stay, you want to also look for other stuff, like is it a fully equipped kitchen, for example, because I love to have my routines. I said that several times. For example, in the mornings, I want to make my own breakfast. It's not a holiday, so I'm not going out for every meal. I might have calls, so I want to be able to cook. That also means I look for, is there any supermarkets or any other fresh vegetable markets in the area where I could go, and is there any gyms? So these are things that I look out for when I scout the area. Then you also want to get a local SIM card. So I'm just going to get like a really cheap SIM card with some data on it so you can use Google Maps. And also I will use the data for my social media clients. Sometimes you have to post, you want to check your emails. And of course, I already found here in the area a great cafe with cheap coffee, but really good coffee and great Wi-Fi. So that's also what I love when traveling. So these are my most important tips, you guys. Start planning ahead. Make sure that you stick to your routines and plan longer trips rather than shorter. One last thing when it comes to routines, you might have seen in one of my other vlogs that I start my mornings with journaling and meditation, then have breakfast, and then go on my computer and check what kind of tasks I have to do for today. I keep that everywhere in the world. So that kind of gives me a home feeling wherever I am. And my last tip is, if you have some sort of home fragrance or a candle that you love, take it with you, because that will then bring that feeling everywhere you are. I also bring my own crystals. I have some smaller crystals, obviously, because of the traveling, that I bring with me just to generate that kind of a home feeling. I hope that was helpful, you guys. If you have any questions about living on the road or working as a nomad, just let me know in the comments below and I can create some other videos. If you want to learn how to get started, make sure that you watch my free masterclass on how to get started as a freelance social media manager. It's also linked below. And for now, I say arrivederci.